Hey, it's Jackie. Welcome back and happy Wicked month. I hope this video is extra magical because we have some props I've been beating, and we're taking a look at Glinda's updated glam in Wicked for Good. And of course, I'm using the r.e.m Beauty Wicked for Good collection. My two favorite Glinda glam moments from part 1 was the Ozfest ball scene, as well as this schoolgirl look, which was just briefly on screen, but she says, "It seems the artichoke is steamed." And I thought she looked gorgeous. I used the Wicked r.e.m collection for that video last year and gave my review, and that's what we're doing this time, but I have shopped even more Wicked products. We unbox tiaras, get bubbly with LUSH, test a fragrance. It's gonna be fun, so just keep on watching. For the base, we want to keep it mostly matte. I picked out the Makeup Forever HD Skin in the shade 2N22. Love this foundation and I thought it was a good match for my skin. And they don't shy away from highlight and contour in Wicked, so let's really brighten up the face with a high coverage matte concealer. This is She Glam Linen. Adding it on the high points of the face and then blending out. Here I'm using the IT Cosmetics and Wicked collab that they released last year. This is the Alphaba brush. They do have a brand new drop that you can collect now, and it has very similar colors to the iridescent bubble dress. Now that we're bright under the eyes and on the chin, I'm using my go-to face palette. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. Great for sculpting. You can see I've used it to death, and I'm taking this contour shade here. Ariana Grande has very sharp lines through her jaw, her cheekbones, her chin, so going with that contour is going to help us look a little bit more like Aria's Glinda, and also it's great to give that stage makeup appearance. They do go a little bit heavier with makeup in Wicked than they typically do on film, so it's kind of a cross between stage and television makeup, in my opinion. Can't forget an Ari-inspired nose contour. I've been doing this technique for a little bit. It's the Artist Color Pencil in Endless Cacao. I sharpen it up and then I just etch along the little divots that I want to accentuate in the nose. I think I'm just gonna add a little more. And we'll finish off the nose contour with the r.e.m Beauty Wicked first drop. This is Glinda Glow Drops. You could use any little bit of highlight, but I wanted to keep it themed. The brows, I'm just gonna try my best. I'm still using the same Makeup Forever palette. This time I'm using this shade, and I'm trying to cancel out some of the deepness in my brow, so I'm applying against the way my hair grows. It looks kind of gross. And then I'm just slightly reshaping, brushing upwards, and then accenting a shape similar to hers with a higher head, a straight arch, and her tail like continues to go straight. I can't pull that off, so I'm just doing a little bit of a tail this way. You might already have a brow shape more similar to Glinda, but this is how I faked it for today. Better from afar. And before we powder, look at this stunning packaging. You guys already saw it a little earlier. This is the first time I will be trying it out. So I think I'm gonna try the Interstellar All Over Glow Stick I Come and I Go by Bubble. So I thought just at first glance that this was a blush, but it's more of a highlight. It's really sheer, but it has such a pretty texture to it. It really picks up the light. You get pink and like a light blue shift. I feel like this might pick up what I've already put down because I did go with a heavier coverage concealer. That's pretty. I'd recommend to use this without makeup. Like if you can go with bare skin or something more light coverage on the skin without anything, like look at that shine. If you have kids, I honestly think this would be an appropriate like product for a kid to play with because it is so sheer. But out of the two, this one is from last year's collection. I prefer this. It's so pigmented, but yeah, you can see such a difference in those products. So that's a highlighter versus the blush. I'm gonna set with a powder. Powdering is great to kind of flatten any blemishes so they don't pick up the light. My lips are dry. I'm gonna try the Poppy product. This is such a unique, gorgeous product. It's a plumping lip gloss. I like to apply plumping products early on so that when I'm done, they really have plumped up the lips. The ones by r.e.m Beauty are pretty intense. Like they do burn a little bit, so it's not for somebody who doesn't like that feeling. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I'm just applying a touch and working it in. You can really sheer this out or build it up. I'm putting it slightly over my lip line. It initially doesn't feel like anything. It smells good. But ooh, it's starting to burn a little in the best way because that means it's working. Look at the Poppy. I'm using the original Wicked palette from r.e.m Beauty. They have fairly similar shades, especially the shades that I'm using today, so I didn't want to pick up the second palette. Plus, I preferred this packaging. This is like the prettiest aesthetic to me. This is like one of my favorite greens. I love gold. I love the storybook motif going on. So you can follow along with this one if you bought it from the first drop, or any neutrals as well as the new one. I'm taking Goodness Knows into the crease, and we're creating a V. Kind of mirroring that contour shape. Next, I'm building up with another matte shade, Espresso, applying this deeper into the crease, creating an exaggerated rounded shape. Also adding this underneath the bottom lash line. And to help blend together the two matte shades, I'm using Save Me This Dance, which is a beautiful iridescent shade. On the lid, I don't necessarily see too much purple, but I think it would match the bubble dress. So let's give this product a try from the Glinda set. Bubble of Brilliance. I'm just applying it to the back of my hand, then onto my brush. And then adding a little bit more brightness. A shade that I don't have in this palette is a really deep neutral brown. So I'm using Makeup by Mario, and I'm creating a liner, a soft liner with a little bit of a wing. Deepening up the bottom lash line just on the outer corner here. Let's use this mirror from the blush palette. So pretty, and we have such a big mirror in here. I'm taking Dimensional Dark Brown, which is by Makeup Forever, and tight lining the eye. And since we'll be using falsies, I took Lawless Easy Eyes Ultra Precise Liquid Liner in Caviar. This is a black because I will be using black lashes as well. And creating a really thin line, building up slightly more in the outer corner to match that V shape. They do have r.e.m liquid liners with the Wicked collection, but I think they're all metallic, so I just went for a matte black. The lashes are what really bring the shadows together and give you that big-eyed Glinda effect. I curled, applied my favorite mascara. Then I ended up layering lashes. I have this wispy pair from Aesopia. They're one of my favorite lash brands ever, in the style Ripple. And I trimmed these, popped them on. They're long and wispy. And then I also picked up another part of the Impress collab. These are stick-on, like you don't have to add glue, but I always use glue. I just prefer it. They come with this little tool to help apply lashes, and it's pink and green. I didn't use the ones with glitter, but it would have been really pretty. And taking a slightly longer lash, I applied that on the outer corner to double up on that outer corner lash and pushing it down to give a similar effect. Very doe-eyed. Skip any mascara on top if you do want to reuse these lashes. Both are definitely reusable. And let's take a look at this blush palette. This is one of the prettiest pieces, I think, from the new collection. Look at the poppy embossing. I went with this peachy pink, oops, and I'm using the blush brush from the collection. Glinda never has too much blush, so I'm just blending this up from the contour, gives a little bit of a glow. But these are such pretty shades. I wanted this not really to recreate this look because, again, it's not very blush heavy, but just for myself because I really love them. They're my favorite types of pinks. We have Perfectly Pink, Glimmer in the Sky, and Lovelier. Swatch these. You can see the difference. The middle one's really bold. There's two versions of this palette, one that's more warm tone and one that's more cool toned. And now for the lips. I'm taking the lip liner. In the last collection, they had a blue bubble liner, which I did not love. It didn't perform well, so I'm glad they switched it because their lip liners are great. So here's what the shade Toss Toss looks like on its own. Really creamy, very easy to use. But in the reference photo that I'm looking at, it looks to be a bit more purpley. So I've added in, again, one of my favorite contour shades ever. This is Makeup Forever Color Artist Pencil Endless Cacao, used it for my nose contour. And I'm also creating a contour to the lips. And these shades together look really similar to what I see in this inspo photo. Now I was looking at a bunch of different scenes and it does look slightly different different days. It's hard to have it perfectly the exact same in every shot, so I just pick one main photo to go off of. Does that work? For the gloss, I'm first trying out this Glossy Balm in Tap to Bubble. This is so pretty. You can see iridescent glitter of purple and pink. I don't find this one has the burning sensation of a plumper. Yeah, it's more of a balm. So pretty. But then to bring in more purple to go with this gown, I'm using the Plumping Gloss in Pretty as a Poppy. This was my favorite shade from the collection. Just adding a little more purple. And more plump. Wicked makeup artist Frances Hannon gave Ariana such a timeless yet whimsical makeup style, and this collection totally captures that. Oh, this is so giving Ari's Glinda. I'm loving this whole look. Ah! I had so much fun playing with this collection, and stay tuned for my review. But next up, I'm going to unbox replica tiaras and earrings. This will be the first time opening up this package. I got these in the mail, and I thought I would do my first impression live. Oh, they're so pretty. These are a licensed replica of her bubble dress earrings. What's so cool about Noble Collection is they are true to size licensed replicas of like your favorite movie props and jewelry. I'd never heard of them before until this, oh my god, until this drop. They also have the bubble wand, which I did order on Amazon, and then it said the package couldn't be delivered, so I don't have that one to unbox and show. And you do have to pay customs on it because that's Canada. But worth it. Part 2. Pink box. Even the box presentation is stunning. Let me take out the extra packaging. Voila. There's hot pink satin at the bottom. Ooh, this would be beautiful, like decor piece as well. It's weighty. Look at the crown. This might be one of my favorite videos I've ever done. I hope you can see all the intricate detail. Oh my goodness. By the way, I'm not wearing the full gown. I have one of my favorite Victoria's Secret bras that I added some mesh to, and then I beaded just a similar design. It was fun. Had a lot of coffee when I did that. And something I thought was really fun, even though maybe some people would be like it's peak capitalism, but I enjoyed it, was all of the collabs that you could spot in part 1. And not everything was like super expensive. Like you could get a bow or a scrunchie that was exactly in the movie from one of their collabs. I think they had something like 300 partners this time around, which is crazy. But I will talk some of the best collaborations in my opinion coming up. But in terms of replicas, I really like these earrings because I think they're wearable. I also like the Glinda necklace with the little butterfly. So DIY little sleeves, so let me put those on. Oh my god. Here's my mini review of what I would recommend the most from this collection. I think I'll get the most use out of this palette. I film a lot of videos, so of course I have enough blush, but if you're just building out your collection, having these 3 shades I think would be amazing in your kit. And the packaging is stunning. This is one of my favorite pieces from the collection just based on the packaging as well. A little keepsake, but can use it very frequently. Brush is quite pretty too. And then I don't know, I love this whole, oops, I love this set. I loved the lip liner, the gloss, the eyeshadow's pretty, but I don't typically go for that shade for the eye. Maybe I will now because it's winter. And then the balm, it's very sheer, so I didn't really use it on my face. But this gloss, if you like plumping, you gotta pick one up. It is an irritant, that's how it like makes your lips more full. And I found without any makeup on, I got like kind of a ring of red around my mouth. So definitely wear foundation with it, but it works. I love the color. Couple different ones, but this one again is Pretty as a Poppy. I opted out of the palette because I have this one and I just preferred this green packaging a little bit more. And finally, while we don't have the perfume bottle in Canada, I saw this one at Pharmaprix. I live in Quebec now, so that's Shoppers elsewhere in Canada. It reminds me of Victoria's Secret. I don't have a lot of body sprays. This is the only full body spray that I own, so I thought, why not? It smells like sparkly pink. Let me read the notes here. Glinda Bubbly Pink is a sweet, juicy fruit and floral with a hint of woods. Very feminine and playful. For body care or like light mist, I usually go for Gourmand. Not fruity, but I do like it. Speaking of body care, I did pick up 2 things from LUSH. I passed the store while I was doing a little holiday shopping, and I got this. We have to test this out. I'll take it in my bathtub. I believe it's called Tap to Bubble, and you run it underwater, and then you can also like blow bubbles through the center. While I'm Glindified, we'll have to try that out.
So cool.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does my hair look okay?
Don't worry about your hair.
So it was really hard to blow bubbles, but I do have a bubble machine. So look at me go. I'm bubbling and I'm bathing.
That's scary.
The bubble bar, I think.
That's cute. Look at the Tin Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Glinda's wedding dress.
Ooh, I like that one. And then I also got her wedding bath bomb. Let me know in the comments which products you've picked up or what stood out to you. Everywhere in the mall, it was Wicked themed, I swear. But let's go through some of the top collabs. The new root sweater and scarf I think are so pretty and like a high quality piece if you love Wicked. New Vulu Spa candles. Again, this lavender shade is like my new favorite color. Something on my wish list is this specific coffee table book. It's pictures of like the costumes and the sets. Hopefully I can get a better look at the makeup. I think it would be amazing, and I love collecting pop culture coffee table books. And I just saw the Wicked Pottery Barn and Pottery Barn Teen collection, and I love both of these butterfly pillows. I think I might get this one for my living room. I do have like a butterfly motif in that room, so I think it'd be perfect. So those are the collectibles that stood out to me, as well as the replica tiara, though I wouldn't have got this if I wasn't recreating this look. I'm not huge on collecting like memorabilia, I guess. Is that the right word? I was thinking of a different word that sounds just the same. But makeup just like lasts so much longer. You can use it all the time. You can keep it as, you know, a memory. I feel like makeup holds memories. So I would go with the makeup collection. And then home decor as well, like you can keep that for so long. I can't wait to cry in theaters, and I will be covering her bridal look. I was going to recreate it in this video, but I really want to see the makeup on the big screen and then recreate it. Maybe do the updo on my own hair as well as a wig. Let me know your thoughts about that. I've linked all the products listed down below. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to follow me over on Instagram. It's @JackieWyers. I may have a sneaky giveaway coming up, so you don't want to miss it. Thumbs up, subscribe. If you want to see last year's video, you can keep on watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!